New safety concerns this morning after a car crashed into a Madison business. Why those in the area say it's a sign of a bigger problem.
A new plea for the Christmas parade suspect, no longer pleading not guilty.
The heat today is dangerous. There's a reason, there's an alert day for it. We're breaking it down coming up.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for waking up with us, everybody. I'm Leah Linscheid. We are on day 2 of alert days today with triple-digit heat indices and an advisory on the way.
Stepped outside yesterday afternoon late, just walked right back in.
It was a no for you?
It was a no for me. You know, it's not always going to work early in the morning before the heat sets in.
Yes, but my car said it was 82 degrees when I walked out this morning. It's only going to get worse from there, folks. It's going to be dangerous today. So we're starting off with Chris Reese and his certified most accurate forecast.
And today's going to be hotter than yesterday was. So, Chris, if you walked out and walked right back in, just don't even go out today. Don't go out. We are talking temperatures topping out into the mid and upper 90s. The heat index from 102 to 107. So we're really going to be talking about ways that you can beat the heat. That includes drinking plenty of water. You really want to stay hydrated. That's the big one today, but even limiting some of that time outdoors. If you are outdoors, look for the cool spots, and the light colored and loose fitting clothing is a big one. A lot of people are like, Chris, why are you wearing a sweater vest? But it's light and it is breathable and it is not as hot as wearing a full suit. So I wear those intentionally on the very hot days. That being said, here's what we're looking at for the afternoon. If you're going to be going out to the pool, of course it's a good day to do it. Sunshine is going to stick around all day. Temperatures are going to be topping out into the mid and upper 90s, but at the same time, take breaks even when you're at the pool today and really reapply that sunscreen as you're out and about. Make sure that sunscreen isn't expired as well. Dew points already into the 60s source. They drop at night and then they pick back up into the afternoon. As we move towards the afternoon, we're going to see some really high dew points, and the model data still nudging them closer to 80. So this is truly some of the heaviest air that we ever really see up here in this part of the country. And this is, I mean, a Florida type of air coming our direction. So do be prepared for that humidity this afternoon. 73 our temperature right now. Winds are out of the south at 6 miles per hour, but you will see those temperatures again on the increase. 4 o'clock. That's when we're at the warmest part of the day, right around 96. But after that, we will see a cold front come through. We'll start to cool things off. Tomorrow will be a lot more comfortable for us. Watch the clock. This is 12. It's 99 in terms of the feels like temperature while you're out there. Feeling like 100, even all the way towards the lakeshore in Milwaukee. Now it's 4 o'clock and it still feels like 106. So this is the heat that I've been really trying to prepare everyone for. So again, I'm going to rehash the light colored and loose fitting clothing along with avoiding the alcohol and the caffeine. The water is truly what is best. Check on the pets and check the back seat. Absolutely. That can make the difference between life and death for members of your family or your friends while you are out and about. Just checking, checking, and checking. 85 for tomorrow, still in the 80s all the way through Saturday, but as we open up the door to next week, we get a breath of fresh air for Monday and Tuesday. I'm sorry, Sunday and Monday.
Looking forward to those cooler temperatures next week.
Those 70s are going to be fantastic.
A little bit easier to breathe. All right, Chris Reese, thank you very much. Continuing coverage on the Williamson Street crash from yesterday morning where a car ended up in a building.
Madison police say the driver suffered a medical condition right before the crash. That driver ended up with a minor laceration and was the only one who sustained an injury. The driver did not show any signs of impairment and was cited for traffic violations. The car ended up hitting the Willie Street Treasure Shop. The woman who owns that shop, nearby neighbors, and a neighborhood official all say the crash is far from surprising on Willie Street.
Would be weary as a business owner, wanting to open something in the neighborhood because of this trend. And from a resident perspective, with all of these crashes that have happened on a busy pedestrian and biking corridor, it worries me for the safety of people who live around here.
The committee chair believes this is the 5th crash involving a business on Willie Street since he started on the board. He says he most recently reached out to the city for help a couple of weeks ago, but has not heard back.
Breaking news overnight, 4 teenagers in jail after stealing and crashing an SUV on Madison's south side along Foxwood Trail. This is near the Madison Sewage District. Take a look at where exactly it is. All 4 suspects, get this, under the age of 15. An off-duty officer reported seeing the SUV driving recklessly and doing burnouts on the south side. The car hit a van and caused it to roll over. The four ran off on foot but were later arrested. No one was injured in the crash. And in Waukesha County this morning, the man accused of driving his SUV into a parade last November is changing his plea. Yesterday, Darrell Brooks' attorneys say he is changing his plea to not guilty by reason of insanity. Brooks faces more than 80 charges, including 6 counts of intentional homicide. While in court, the judge dismissed a request from the defense to move the trial out of Waukesha County.
New this morning, a 17-year-old in the hospital after a farming accident in rural Sauk County. The boy was moving bales of hay when his tractor rolled over Sunday afternoon near the village of Plain. He's in serious condition, but is expected to survive. Happening today, the January 6th House Committee will hold its 4th of 6 public hearings.
Today's hearing will shift attention to a state-level pressure campaign aimed at blocking the 2020 election results. Among key witnesses, Arizona House Speaker Rusty Bowers, who says President Trump asked him to change the state's law to choose different electors. Bowers also received an email from Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's wife, Ginny. The Washington Post reports she was asking to reverse Trump's election loss. The committee has now requested an interview with Ginny Thomas.
She said publicly that she looks forward to coming in and talking to us. So I take her at her word that she intends to come in, and we look forward to talking to her.
4 witnesses are scheduled to testify later today. That testimony expected to include death threats some of these officials received due to false claims of fraud. News 3 Now will live stream the hearing. CBS will have live coverage right here, starting at noon.
A new ABC News poll giving us a preliminary look at how the public is responding to the committee hearings. It finds American views of former President Trump's responsibility for the breach haven't changed much. In the poll, 58% thought Trump bears a great deal or a good amount of responsibility for the attack. The poll also found the same share, 58%, say that Trump should be charged with the crime related to the attack.
New this morning in Beloit, the city council appointing an interim city manager. Elizabeth Krieger currently serves as city attorney and deputy city manager. She'll take over for Lori Luther upon her departure on August 5th. Krieger has worked for the city since 2006. Meanwhile, the city will still search for a permanent replacement.
In Baraboo, police have identified potential suspects in a break-in at the Ochsner Park Zoo, where 4 animals were let loose. Police Chief Rob Sinden said that his department's investigation into the incident is proceeding well, with several potential suspects who've been identified, though no arrests have been made. Chief Sinden could not give us many details, but did say that they were not affiliated with environmentalist groups. 2 weeks ago, 2 river otters and 2 great horned owls were let loose after someone broke into the zoo and cut the locks off the habitats. The otters, named Mitch and Mo, were later found by kayakers and returned safely. One of the owls, a male named Jerry, was also found. A female owl, though, Linda, is still missing.
We're hoping that she can be found soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
They were saying they have forgotten how to hunt, so it's a little dangerous for these guys.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough situation. With summer vacation in full swing, summer camp is just on the horizon for many.
As kids count down the days until they leave, many parents are doing the same, but maybe for a different reason. McKenna Alexander joins us on how to share how you can cope while your camper is gone. Good morning, McKenna.
Yeah, good morning, you two. You know, whenever parents think about having a temporarily smaller or even empty household, they may welcome that mini vacation. However, one Wisconsin camp director tells me it usually only takes a few days for that excitement to turn to worry.
So if you do have concerns, I'd say reach out to your camp director, reach out to your child's counselor, and make a personal connection so that you know that your kids' needs will be met and are being met, and your needs are being met too. Don't worry, camp staff are trained to care for your child, both physically and mentally as well. So I think giving your kids a camp experience is one of the best things you can do.
Now, a lot of parents also worry their child's homesick. Coming up in our next half hour, I'll share how camp counselors are trained to handle those emotions and why Bachman says missing home is actually a good thing.
Good information this morning, McKenna. It's very timely for a lot of parents that are about to send those kiddos off.
Yep, everyone's packing, getting ready, and then they'll have an empty nest for a little bit.
Right. Thanks, McKenna.
Looking ahead now, President Biden expected to make 2 big decisions that will have an impact on your finances. The president says he'll soon decide on whether to temporarily pause the federal gas tax. This after several lawmakers floated the idea of a gas tax holiday. It could save you something like 15 cents a gallon.
hope I have a decision based on data I'm looking for by the end of the week.
Will you be sending Americans gas tax cards, gas rebate cards?
Well, that's part of what we consider. That's part of the whole operation.
The president also says he's nearing a decision on student loan relief, but he didn't give any details on his possible plan for forgiving student debt.
Continuing coverage now of the thousands of airline delays and cancellations over the weekend. The CEO of United Airlines says government help is needed now to get things back to normal. Scott Kirby says United and other airlines are facing challenges after 2 years of reduced activity following COVID-19. In the U.S., airlines have been limited in the number of flights that they can schedule because of a shortage of staff. Kirby says air traffic control is also understaffed.
6:10 now. Coming up, a prediction on where former Badger Johnny Davis will land on the NBA draft list.
And we're hopping around the Edgerton Healing Garden, hanging with my new friend, the Frog, when we come back in the 608. Stick around.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down, and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
The Power Swabs were so easy to use. I don't have to have strips sitting on my face for an hour. I don't have to have a foam tray where I feel like I'm gonna gag or I'm gonna go play football. I've tried like every over-the-counter whitening because, you know, I'm one of those people that's like obsessed with white teeth.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like, you gotta leave it on for 30 minutes and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on and it was good to go.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab and I just gotta rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The Secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
When I used these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the Power Swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth today by ordering Power Swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Yes, 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free Quick Stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
You are watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back, everybody. If you need a little tranquility, some peace this morning, Josh Fryder's bringing it to you in the 608 this morning.
Yeah, a place where you can heal your mind, body, and soul. He is at a beautiful space in Edgerton this morning, showing us around somewhere anyone can go check it out. Right, Josh?
Yeah, good morning, guys. So we've taken a seat, just taken in the scenery this morning here at the Edgerton Healing Garden. Beautiful morning. You'd have no idea it's going to be so hot later on today, but we're out here early having a grand old time. We're hoping you can come out here and check it out here eventually, too. Mark Dwyer, the Healing Garden manager, is up with us this morning, and you've got a little bit of everything when it comes to the Healing Garden here.
We do. Not only is it an all-accessible space over these 3 acres, but there's beautiful display beds, there's natural areas, there's, well, we're heavy on pollinator activity, trying to encourage pollinators. And adjacent, west of the hospital proper, there's 30 acres of woods with about a half-mile of walking trails.
So, you know, when you guys created this space, you kept in mind that you wanted to have kind of this healing space for folks, obviously right behind the hospital, but this is a moment for people to be able to come out and kind of find their soul, right?
Absolutely, and that starts from the views from within the hospital looking out into the space, but also ultimately engaging in the space, whether it's for therapy or just a walk around, some exercise. Earlier we were near our yoga pad. A lot of fun things happening out here and used for a lot of different purposes by a wide spectrum of people.
So first day of summer, things are really looking good out here, but it takes a lot of work to be able to get it to look like this, right? A lot of volunteers.
Absolutely. In fact, I am very reliant on about 30 volunteers that help plant and weed and also with some of our programs, but you know, a space this big needs a lot of hands, and we're always looking for more.
You know, you were saying how there are some special stories with how important that this space is for a lot of folks here. I mean, obviously we're right behind the hospital. This is a moment for people really to have that escape from reality.
Absolutely, and you know, we feel this is kind of an unknown resource, and granted our staff and visitors and patients enjoy the space and it's there for them, but it's also a community resource and is used for so many different purposes.
So if people are interested in coming and checking out the Healing Garden, what should they know?
Well, it's easy to access. You don't have to go through the hospital to access it, but it's easy to get to, very convenient to find it, but ultimately it is open throughout the entire growing season.
Wonderful. Well, Mark, thank you so much for letting us in here, this beautiful space. This is incredible.
Thank you.
If you'd like to learn more, you can go up to channel3000.com. I've got links with more information. And coming up here in the next half hour, we're going to talk about an event they're going to have on Friday, talking about some of those fragrances that they have out here at the Healing Garden, guys. You won't want to miss that here around 6:45.
All right, talk to you then, Josh. Thanks a lot.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him on social media or shoot him an email for a chance to be featured.
Chris Reese is going to be a hot one today. Another alert day in the forecast.
Yeah, heat advisories go into effect at noon. They're going to stick around until 7 o'clock in the evening. So do be prepared for that heat as you are out and about. This is the heat index right around 4 o'clock. Feeling like 106 degrees in Madison. Here's the deal. This is what it feels like in the shade. So when you're out in the sun, do know that it feels even hotter as you are outside. So it is going to be steamy, but it feels better as we start to move forward. Check the back seat everywhere you go today, especially if you have a pet or a child who's in the back seat with you. Just look. I know it may take a couple extra seconds, but do it. Get in the habit of doing it all the time. When the temperature's at 90, we are talking cars being over 100 degrees in minutes, within an hour over 130. And again, I'm talking us warming up to 96 today. So all of this happens even faster, and it can turn into tragedy. So just check that back seat while you're out and about. One of the other things I really want you to do is pay attention to yourself, pay attention to others, and know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Heat exhaustion, you might start to feel a little faint or dizzy. You have excessive sweating along with that cool, pale, and clammy skin. Might even experience muscle cramps as well. But when it comes to heat stroke, there's a throbbing headache. Your body has lost the ability to sweat. So now your body is not even able to try to cool itself off. You're going to have red, hot, and dry skin, and you may lose consciousness. This is a medical emergency that does require calling 911. So I'm going to have this on our website. I'm going to have it on our First Warn Weather app. I'm going to have it on all of my social media today, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's all going to be there so that you can learn and know those dangers. I am watching the traffic for you all this morning as well. Lots of construction. It is construction season, but we have no accidents that are showing up across southern Wisconsin this morning. The goal is, of course, always to keep it that way.
Thanks, Chris. 6:18 now. Brewers return to Milwaukee for a pivotal 7-game homestand with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Crew and the Cards all tied atop the NL Central last night. The 4-game series started off pretty quiet until this. 5th inning, Tyron Taylor going deep. That's his 7th home run of the season. Brewers pitcher Corbin Burns flashing his Cy Young abilities last night, too. He struck out 10 over 7. Strong night for the bullpen, too. Devin Williams and Josh Hader, who's recently back from paternity leave. helped get the shutout. Milwaukee tops St. Louis 2-0, and they move into sole possession of first place in the NL Central. They'll play again tonight at 7:10.
It is officially NBA draft week, and we're all waiting to see where Johnny Davis will end up in the first round. According to mock drafts, models have him going anywhere from the top 10 to the 20th overall. If Davis does go in the top 10, he'll be the first Badger to be drafted that high since Frank Kaminsky went 9th overall. That was back in 2015. The Big Ten Player of the Year finished his sophomore campaign, averaging almost 20 points and just over 8 boards a game. The Milwaukee Bucks will likely miss out on Davis. They picked 24th. The draft gets underway tonight at 6:30 at the Barclays Center in New York.
Coming up, a look at the biggest freshwater fish ever caught.
You got to see it to believe it, folks. And ahead in our next half hour, new details about the motive and the suspects in a kidnapping plot turned murder that started right here in Madison.
This portion of News 3 Now is brought to you by Shopko Optical.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements. Call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
With the right tools and a little hard work, you can do it yourself. And with the right kind of paint, you can finish the job faster. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains exceeds your expectations with products that can cover your walls in one coat. So instead of another coat of paint, you can finally get outside. One coat paint means time better spent. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, exclusively at Menards.
Your mission, stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. With RA, your overactive immune system attacks your joints. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq, make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Rinvoq.
How do you use your energy? Giving back to your community? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
It's Terrific Tuesdays at Hy-Vee. This Tuesday, get fresh ground chuck, only $1.99 a pound. Pringles, only 99 cents. Bakery Fresh Mini Cookies, only $3.49 for an 18-count pack. And Folgers Coffee, only $7.99. Tuesday only. For more ways to save on hundreds of items every day at Hy-Vee, check out our monthly catalog, our weekly ad, and scan the QR code to visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements. Call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
We're taking a break from all the cow pictures last week and have a nice dog sunrise for you here. I want to thank Tina for sharing this. She says, this is a picture of my daughter that my daughter took of her dog Harper. It was taken at our cabin just north of Black River Falls.
Chris.
So I was off last week, with the exception of like one day. Was it just cows galore?
Every day.
So
every day.
We're spending this week saying no cows, absolutely shut it down.
I suggested that we try something else.
So what happens next week? Like, I feel like there are a bunch of cows in queue that are just waiting to be sent in.
In defense of cows, I was sick for a little bit. When I returned, folks were just trying to make me feel better with what I like.
And now we're doing something else.
Unfortunately, it's not what Chris likes.
Well,
different tastes.
maybe next week someone will send in stingray pictures, Chris Stanford.
Maybe.
We don't even need it because you got to check out this next
It's
story.
a perfect segue into this. Trending story in Cambodia this morning. The world's largest ever freshwater fish has been caught.
My goodness, check out this stingray. Locals nicknaming it Full Moon. Wait until you see the aerial version. Oh my goodness. This guy is 13 feet long from tail to snout. He weighs right around 660 pounds. This breaks the record by about 15 pounds from a giant catfish that was caught back in 2005 in Thailand. It's not just about the record, though. The team that helped catch this fella does research into this little-known species. It's going to send the stingray back into the water to receive data on the creature over the next year.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
I can't get over how big that thing is.
I had no idea freshwater stingrays were a thing until today.
Did you see it spray water out of its little eye holes?
No.
You guys, this is wild.
I'm sure that's...
Our producer said that's the nose.
That's why I was like, no.
You guys, it's a little-known species. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, man, this is wild, yeah. I watched an episode of River Monsters a long time ago where the host, Jeremy Wade, pulled one of these out. It took him like a couple of hours just to yank this thing that was sucked onto the bottom of the water floor. And, it's magnificent.
Isn't it a little dangerous?
Yeah. I'm sure it's...
Everything's a little dangerous.
You can pull a couple of muscles,
including the heat.
The heat today is dangerous, so find ways to cool off. If you're headed to the pool this afternoon, temperatures top out around 96. It'll feel like 106.
Keep it here. We're back right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sheesh Raval with the Ortho Team Clinic at Stoughton Health. We hope you can join us for our upcoming event on treatment of knee arthritis and custom knee replacements.
When pain says it's time to go home, I say, not yet. Aleve, who do you take it for?
Are you suffering from neuropathy? Do you experience stabbing pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet? Are you tired of sleepless nights and avoiding life due to pain? If you've been diagnosed with neuropathy or are experiencing pain or numbness in your feet, pick up the phone and call us right now before it's too late. Neuropathy is a very serious and progressive disease where your nerves start to break down. Eventually, it leads to balance problems, falls, complete loss of independence, and often amputation. Our program addresses the underlying causes and doesn't simply mask your symptoms with medication. In fact, many patients start experiencing relief from their neuropathy symptoms within weeks. There's no surgery and no use of prescription drugs. Pick up the phone right now and call the number on your screen to find out if you're a candidate for our neuropathy program that has changed thousands of lives. You don't have to spend another day suffering. Call us today and see if you qualify for the relief you deserve. Do not wait. Call now.
The Spring Green Art Fair is coming June 25th and 26th to downtown Spring Green. Hundreds of artists from around the nation will be there both days. Don't miss the fun and excitement June 25th and 26th in Spring Green.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
We would never hit 12 drunk.
Clutch it up drunk? Not a chance. Do a stoppie drunk? We would never drift drunk. So you should never drive drunk. Drive sober or get pulled over.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee.
Dangerous heat hangs out across Wisconsin through the evening. If you thought yesterday was hot, just wait till I show you today's highs.
And new details in a homicide investigation in Columbia County. What investigators say the suspects did to the victim before the murder.
A citywide musical event coming to town. How you can take part in Make Music Madison. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Yes, it is going to be another hot one. Warmer and more humid than it was even yesterday.
If you stepped out the car at 3 a.m. like we did today, 82 degrees, folks, and the heat indice is going to get even worse.
Yeah, triple digits expected today. Let's get right to Chris Reese, your certified most accurate forecast. Hey there, Chris.
This is going to be something that really comes in handy as you're out and about today. This is a water bottle. I really want to make sure that you're staying hydrated. Temperatures so far this morning already a lot warmer than they were yesterday morning in some communities. I mean, Watoma 10 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. 8 degrees warmer in Lone Rock. Madison only about 2 degrees warmer, but we are going to be warmer into the afternoon as well. Here were some of those highs yesterday afternoon. The forecast high for Madison was 92. That's exactly where we topped out. But there was only one community in all of southern Wisconsin that topped out into the 80s. That was Juneau. Everywhere else was in the 90s, and today all of us will be into the 90s this afternoon. I'm expecting 96 for us in Madison. Some spots very well could make it to 100 as we move towards this afternoon. But even if you don't, it will feel that way. So I want to make sure that you're drinking some water and limiting that time as you are out and about. The temperature now at 73. Winds are out of the south at 6 and the dew point coming in at 60. As the sun comes up, the dew points are really going to rise. They're going to take off. The reason for that is because our winds are staying out of the south. That's funneling in all of the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. That's also helping our temperatures warm up. 96 again. That's the expected high that comes our direction right around 4 o'clock this afternoon. We keep that sunshine around pretty much all day long. Once that pushes through, notice a change in the wind direction. That'll be out of the north and west, and that means we will get cooler as we start to move into the days ahead. That being said, how you can help, how you can beat the heat today, check the back seat. Really do that one. Check on the pets as well. I also want you to avoid alcohol and caffeine. Plenty of water is really going to help out today. I know I'm not your doctor, but I would like you to do it. It's really going to make a difference. And then, of course, light-colored and loose-fitting clothing, much like this vest that I'm wearing right now, opposed to the full suit. As you're out and about, that's going to help make a difference, too. But again, checking that back seat, that's a big one that I want everyone to do. Tomorrow, we are cooler at 85, staying into the 80s all the way through Saturday, then 70s show up for Sunday and Monday. Even with the rest of this forecast where it's cooler and more comfortable, I want to stress this one. You still need to check the back seat every day, because even at 80 or 85 degrees, it is still deadly and dangerous to leave someone in a locked car that is hot for an extended amount of time.
All right, Chris, thanks for the reminder. We are learning more this morning about the motive behind the kidnapping turned homicide from last week.
A criminal complaint alleges the 3 suspects simply wanted to steal the victim's car. All 3 defendants, 28-year-old Jesse Freiberg, 38-year-old Laura Johnson, and 21-year-old Jakenya Patty, are charged with 1 count of intentional homicide as party to a crime. The criminal complaint details what led up to the murder. The victim was allegedly being held hostage inside one of the suspects' homes. That victim hit several times with some sort of metal object before being dragged down a hallway, into an elevator, and eventually into their own car. All 4 drove out to rural Columbia County, where the victim was let out of the car, and then as that victim ran away, they were shot multiple times.
New this morning, an uptick in car thefts. Madison police say they've seen it in the last 2 weeks in the area of East Washington Avenue and Hayes Road. Thieves are targeting Kia models that are newer than 2011 and Hyundai models that are newer than 2015. Police say this is part of a nationwide trend as these cars have manufacturing issue. Thieves break a window and then are able to drive the cars without keys.
An update now. The Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection ending its ban on poultry at live events. The ban has been in place since May to prevent the spread of the avian flu. DACAP still encourages closely monitoring your birds for signs of sickness, and they also want you to limit access by visitors and wild birds. This is all to prevent further spread of the bird flu.
On World Refugee Day, many refugees that resettled in Madison held a panel discussion about celebrating their successes and recognizing their challenges.
The refugee communities that are growing and thriving in Madison add to our community and bring lots of positive impacts, including economic, including cultural, and it's a good thing that Madison is such a welcoming community.
Jewish Social Services of Madison helping many to resettle here. They say they're hoping to resettle 180 refugees in the next fiscal year. Many of the guests from yesterday's panel were from the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has been suffering war and genocide for close to 30 years now. Kasim Rajab now has a job helping other refugees get settled in Madison. But he says after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, many others in need are being overlooked.
You wonder, like, Congolese lives are more or less important than Ukrainians. It's not a good politics. It's like double standard, which affects the population of Congo.
Jewish Social Services of Madison says to help more refugees, they need more affordable housing from community partners.
In the wake of the Uvalde school massacre, parents are on high alert about how their children are trained to face shooters at school. One Dane County parent says those drills aren't happening for his middle schooler. After checking in with his daughter's school, Glacial Drumlin in Cottage Grove, a father was told they hadn't practiced a drill since 2018. Wisconsin law requires schools hold at least 2 school violence drills a year. But there is a catch. There's no standard method, so these drills can look really different depending on the school.
It's the world that we live in today. I definitely don't like the idea that you have to have these kind of drills, but also I feel like you have to be prepared for anything.
Glacial Drumlin didn't tell us when their last drill was, but the superintendent said in a statement the district does do live drills and conducts thinking drills where students discuss what to do in an active shooter situation. The superintendent also said they'd started an audit of district practices back in February.
To coronavirus headlines this morning, UW Health has been working overtime to be prepared to start scheduling vaccine appointments for young kids as soon as today. They've also learned from past vaccine rollouts to not schedule until those vaccines are in their refrigerators. This means it could be later in the week before UW Health can administer the shots. Meanwhile, the medical director for UW Health's immunization program says that until we have a vaccine targeted for Omicron variants, we're still evolving to meet the pandemic.
The vaccines aren't quite as good against these newer strains. They still do what they need to do and protect against serious disease, but until we actually get modified vaccines that are directed against those Omicron variants, we won't really be able to completely get out of this.
Regardless, immunizing kids will mean better protection against COVID for returning to daycares and schools this fall.
To western Wisconsin now, where the Vernon County Sheriff's Office is investigating how 2 people died at a rural home. The Wisconsin State Journal reporting officers were called about a suspicious death in Coon Valley. First responders found the 2 bodies inside a home. The sheriff says there is no danger to the public. Their identities have not yet been released.
Something really cool happening today. Make Music Madison is returning. Every year on the 21st, the summer solstice, musicians perform all day at a variety of unique events, including parks, coffee shops, and even front porches. Starting in 2013, the celebration encourages everyone to get involved, meeting neighbors, enjoying the music, and bringing the community together through song. This year, 165 musical acts are involved, featuring over 1,000 individual artists.
I'm most excited to get out and see people experiencing live music and engaging with performers, maybe learning about someone new they've never seen before. So at Westmoreland Park, come see Angela Puerta will be performing from 8 to 9 p.m. And there's many parks like this all over the city of Madison that are hosting music. So find a park near you and see if they have music playing.
To find out more on who's playing and where, head to makemusicmadison.org. They have an interactive map all set up, and it lays out all the details you need to know.
Gosh, what a fun day for Madisonians, though you're going to have to make sure you're hydrated and staying in the shade.
Yeah, earlier
yes.
or later tonight.
Yes,
That would
absolutely.
be probably best for you.
Okay, we are continuing to get your family ready for summer and the kids' camps that come with it.
Now, you may think campers are typically the ones missing home, but as McKenna Alexander explained, sometimes it's the parents that struggle the most.
Yeah, we're
Hey,
talking
McKenna.
to you, Chris. We're talking, this story is for you.
My kids have not gone to camp, but I
Yet.
know that I would be excited to start, and then I'd probably be a nervous wreck.
And that's exactly what happens. I mean, as parents may think this little mini vacation from the kids could sound really nice, camp directors tell me it only takes a couple of days for the camp office's phone to start ringing with a worried mom or dad on the line. So parents may be worried that their child isn't having fun, isn't making friends, or is just missing the comforts of home. Andy Bachman, director of Camp Highlands for Boys in northern Wisconsin, tells me a homesick camper isn't a bad thing, and instead it's just a sign that a child feels loved by their family.
I actually think that homesickness is a really good thing because it teaches children that they can hold two conflicting emotions at the same time. They can be thrilled, so excited that they're going to have water skiing today, and they can still be sad and missing home. Holding two conflicting emotions is one of the most important character developments that we can have as a person. And so
Bachman says that parents can rest assured camp counselors everywhere are usually trained to deal with homesickness. So this typically involves distracting the camper with fun activities and helping them build connections with other kids while also acknowledging it's okay to miss home. I know I was a camp counselor and this is exactly what we did. And honestly, within 20 minutes, a kid would forget about being homesick. So
what a nice sentiment that they're homesick because they feel loved at home. That's so nice.
And that's what we always remind them.
Nice to know that everyone's trained there to handle all this stuff, too. And the staff, they've been through it all before, so they can handle it. Thanks, McKenna.
Yep.
All right, it is 6:40 as we take a look outside this morning. The sun is up, and it is heating up. More humid today. Chris is tracking everything you need to know on the alert day. And some more ways to beat the heat today.
Plus, how you can help save the bees in your own backyard on this pollinator week.
And we're in the 608 this morning getting an inside look at Edgerton's Healing Garden.
When the family can't get enough of your signature dish, get everything you need with Pick and Save free pickup with no surprise fees. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Brothers Maine enjoys 4th of July festivities with family, friends, and fabulous kitchen and laundry deals. Our fireworks of savings on GE appliances and free delivery will make you ooh and ah. Feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Breakfast sounds better together, doesn't it? Make it even more special with the hazelnut and cocoa taste of Nutella. Nutella, wake up to wow.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are getting clearer, yeah, I feel free to bare my skin, yeah, that's on me.
Nothing and me go hand in hand.
Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is everything.
Keep your skin clearer with Skyrizi. Most who achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months had lasting clearance through 1 year. In another study, most people had 90% clearer skin at 3 years. And Skyrizi is 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
It's my moment, so I just gotta say, nothing is everything.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Talk to your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
I'm Tim Michaels. My company was building the Keystone Pipeline, but then Joe Biden canceled it, afraid to offend liberals. Biden killed hundreds of jobs, sent gas prices way up, making everything more expensive. Only a career politician could make such a mess of things. I'm Tim Michaels. Liberals like Biden and Tony Evers are destroying our economy, and the hardworking people of Wisconsin, they're paying the price. As governor, I'll fight to make sure you keep more of your money, and I don't care who I offend to do it.
With the Pick and Save app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, all for prices that are lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather before.
Alert days are in the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Madison, Janesville, Beloit, Portage, Baraboo, the Dells. This is when you really need to begin to watch the eye to the sky.
During.
We have a confirmed tornado all on the ground.
This is a serious situation. You need to take shelter immediately.
And after the storms.
You can see some of the damage here behind me this morning.
Get severe weather coverage from Madison's certified most accurate team. News 3 Now First Warn Weather.
You are watching News 3 Now this morning.
In the 608 this morning, we have a tour of a place that you can go to heal your mind, body, and soul.
Who doesn't need that these days? Josh Brighter live in Edgerton with this peaceful story. Hey, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, we're giving you an inside look at Edgerton's Healing Garden right behind the Edgerton Hospital. This beautiful space out here this morning with a little bit of everything. I want to bring in Mark Dwyer this morning, the garden manager. And Mark, I mean, this is a beautiful place and this is open to the public. This is just kind of a little escape from reality, if you will.
It is, and I think a lot of people aren't aware of its availability for the public. And of course, we see patients out here, visitors, staff members, and it's certainly meant for that demographic, but at the whole community is invited. Anyone can visit.
So this has been open for a few years now, and it takes a lot of work. Talk about the volunteer work it takes to be able to pull this off every year.
Yeah, volunteerism here out in the garden is integral to maintaining the space. I'm actually the only staff member involved, but we have 20 to 30 volunteers that are helping on an almost daily basis with planting, weeding, watering, all sorts of gardening tasks, and we're always looking for more help.
So some of what you've got here specifically behind us is the flowering tobacco, and this is kind of significant for the Edgerton area.
It is. Edgerton having a long history in the tobacco industry and has a great event in July called Tobacco Heritage Days. This is sort of our shout out to that by using the ornamental forms, the fragrant flowering tobaccos that emit an amazingly sweet fragrance, particularly from dusk till dawn, and are part of our really sensory engagement focus here at the Healing Garden.
Yeah, talk about that sensory engagement, because it is pretty cool. A lot of what you have chosen to be here in the garden has a good scent to it.
It does. And when you think about fragrance, the ways of engaging it, in spring, lilacs, you know, the emission of fragrance, there's also the tactile inducement, various herbs and other plants that you have to kind of rub to smell, but it's just amazing.
So like such as the lemongrass, if you just take and rub it a little bit and then give it a smell, it actually is very, very strong with a lemon. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. And it really is, and it has a broad culinary use as well, very common in all sorts of cuisines.
So a little bit of everything. You also have what's called the Old Spice plant. Talk about that one.
Right, this is a scented geranium, so it's not so much about the flowers people associate with geraniums, it's the foliage has these oils. So by rubbing these leaves and giving a smell, it's amazing. And we have scented geraniums. We have 40 different flavors, so to speak, different styles representing all sorts of scents.
So you have what's called a Sensation event happening this Friday, and it acts as a fundraiser to be able to keep really the spirit of this garden alive, right?
Right. So Sensation as a garden party, the fundraiser helps support our ear, nose, and throat clinic. But what we're trying to do is bring people out into the garden to not only engage with these various fragrances and to see the garden, of course, but there's wine, there's music, there's food. So it's a great event. There's still plenty of room opportunity available, and it's on both our website and Facebook page.
Wonderful. Mark, thank you so much for giving us a closer look. I mean, this is a beautiful space. You can tell it's going to get hot out here today. I'm glad we're out here right now.
Appreciate you visiting. Thanks
Thank you so much. If you'd like to learn more information about the Healing Garden itself or that Sensation event, I've got information up on channel3000.com, guys. I just cannot get over the fact that these plants smell like they do. This one is the peppermint, and it literally smells like peppermint, like a peppermint bark you'd be eating around the holiday season. Just quite amazing, guys. You have to check it out for yourself.
I've always wanted to learn more about horticulture. Really don't know that much about gardening. I'm learning something today, that you can touch plants to make them smell. Really cool story today, Josh. Thank you very much.
Isn't that crazy? Yes. Yeah, you bet.
Thanks, Josh. Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. Reach out on social media or email him for a chance to be featured.
Okay, if you are visiting the Healing Garden today, make it quick, stay in the shade, because it is dangerously hot out there, Chris.
Yeah, especially as we start to move towards this afternoon. Heat advisories all across the upper Midwest, including right here in southern Wisconsin. Noon is the point that these heat advisories go into effect. So that's truly when it gets dangerously hot out, and it stays dangerously hot all afternoon until about 7 o'clock. At that point, point, we'll start to cool temperatures down just a bit. But that heat index at 4 o'clock could feel like 106 degrees. Again, this is in the shade. When you're out in the sun, of course, it is going to feel a whole lot warmer out there. Here's the bottom line when it comes to heat. Heat is the most dangerous weather hazard that you can be dealing with. It causes more fatalities than any other. Last year, roughly 1,000 people died due to the heat. And when it's as humid as it's going to be, sweating is ineffective. It doesn't really cool you off. It actually just makes things worse. And then, of course, never leave people or pets in the car. Check those back seats and make sure that you can save a life today just in case.
Yeah, certainly a hazardous day ahead. We're going to have to keep an eye on those temperatures.
Yes, we will.
Chris Reese, thank you very much. This week is Pollinator Week, and to mark the occasion, the Public Library in Janesville putting on a little display. They say native bees are some of our most helpful but least understood pollinators. These gentle, hardworking insects are also an essential part of our food chain, and there are ways to entice them into your garden.
The most important thing, number one, is cut back or eliminate the amount of pesticides that you might use in your yard or on your garden. And sometimes that's not practical, in which case you do your best to use the least toxic thing and to apply it in the best way.
Things that you will hear about.
Some good thoughts here, especially coming off the heels of No Mow May in Madison and Verona. Gardeners can also plant native plants and a wide variety of them to help support bees and as many other pollinators as possible.
Yeah, we could all do more in these regards, couldn't we?
And have fun doing it. A lot of stories on horticulture today. I'm getting interested.
I know, our green thumbs getting greener by the minute.
Absolutely. 6:50 now. Coming up in the morning sprint, Wisconsin dairy farmers getting some help where that new money is coming from.
First, we want to say happy birthday to Emmeline and Jovi and all the kids turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us.
Channel 3000 Plus. Watch from your streaming media player or mobile device.
Oh, hey, it's me, Adrian. People choose Sono Bello because they can permanently remove your stubborn body fat in just one visit. After having 2 kids, my body changed a lot, and I struggled with my stubborn body fat. For me, as a busy mom of 2, when I discovered that Sono Bello had a mommy makeover package catered just for moms like me who don't have time to recover and need to get back in action, that's when I knew I needed to go to Sono Bello. Sono Bello removed my diet-resistant fat cells permanently in just one visit. There was minimal downtime, local anesthesia, so I was actually awake during the whole procedure. I deserved my mommy makeover, and you do too.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation now and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-952-0466 or go to sonobello.com.
Made in America. It used to mean something here, but it doesn't seem to mean much to Ron Johnson. Senator Johnson pushed for special tax breaks for corporations that ship American jobs overseas. Worse, when his corporate PAC donor announced plans to create jobs outside Wisconsin, Johnson defended them.
It's not like we don't have enough jobs here in Wisconsin.
Senator Johnson, stop going easy on China and making it tougher on us.
I have 30 seconds to introduce you to my best-selling Calvin sofa and love seat and the Calvin 2-piece sectional. Both sets come in 3 colors and matching accent pillows for an everyday low price of $9.99. That's amazing choice and value. But this is a Bob's commercial and no one outvalues Bob's. So let's add a coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 lamps. Add them all up to $13.48 or buy them together for my package price of $12.99. And with my new financing options, Bob's is more affordable than ever. That's a lot of value in 30 seconds.
Get Bob's discount!
Only at Bob's Discount Furniture.
Visiting DeFacto Credit Union was the thing that started all this.
We had a lot of student loan debt, low credit scores for bad decisions we had made in our younger years.
We thought it was the point where you could never come back from it. We've always wanted to own our own restaurant, so I just kind of floated the idea like, oh, I found this food truck.
I was like, yeah, let's try it. DeFacto helped us so much with just putting everything together.
Definitely life-changing for us.
What we have right now would not have been possible without DeFacto Credit Union.
Oh, love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV. Nice Trailblazer. It was love at first sight.
one.
The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads.
Qualified lessees can sign and drive this Equinox for around $340 a month. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees are extra. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
6:54, time for the morning sprint.
Another alert day today, this time with dangerous heat on tap. We start with Chris Reese and your certified most accurate forecast. Chris.
Yeah, we are talking about more heat bulletins with the heat advisories in that forecast as we go throughout the rest of today. It is with that in mind that we do have an alert day for today. Highs will be right around 96. And then, of course, we do want you to limit that time outdoors. Here's the other thing. Find ways to stay cool. Light clothing, limit that time outside, and of course drink plenty of water today.
Chris Reese, thank you. Kids as young as 6 months can now start getting their COVID vaccine. As soon as today, the CDC gave Moderna and Pfizer shots a final approval over the weekend. An estimated 18 million babies, toddlers, and preschoolers are now eligible. But recent polling shows less than 20% of parents will have their kids vaccinated right away.
The Wisconsin dairy industry getting an extra $20 million from the American Rescue Plan Fund. It will go to Dairy Business Innovation Initiative. That's a program that provides technical assistance and grants to dairy farmers and businesses. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin authored the bill that created the DBI programs in 2018.
This week's heat wave causing the pavement on Highway 12 in Sauk County to buckle twice yesterday. The first happened around 3 p.m. near Ferndale Road. WISC-TV was able to repair it and have the lanes reopened after 4. But then just 15 minutes later, another buckle, this one near the Lynn Street exit. There have now been at least 5 buckles in Sauk County so far this summer.
A preliminary investigative report into the Uvalde Elementary School mass shooting is expected in the next 4 weeks. The Texas House Investigative Committee is looking into what happened at Robb Elementary School last month when a gunman opened fire, killing 21 people. The investigation centers on the intensely criticized police response. The shooting is the second deadliest ever at a K-12 school in the U.S.
AAA is predicting about 48 million people will travel 50 miles or more over the 4th of July holiday. While most will drive, the number of those traveling by air, get this, will be the lowest since 2011. Meanwhile, gas prices falling ever so slightly. The national average ended yesterday at just below $5 a gallon.
So here's the deal. As you plan out the day, we're going to be at 89 by lunchtime. Temperature's still going to be feeling around 100 at that point. We'll top out at 96 by 4 o'clock. We're back into the upper 80s at 7. But here's the heat index at 4 o'clock, 106. And that's what it's going to be feeling like even while you're in the shade. So again, light colored and loose fitting clothing. Avoid the alcohol today.